Now, lashing out at Digvijay Singh and the Congress party's shield for the alleged army beta, the BJP has now said that the party is not breaking. In fact, the party is involved in breaking India and not uniting it, which is the purpose of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
You are going on a Bharat Jodo Yatra, and why your senior leaders are taking a Bharat Todo Yatra?
You think it's an acceptance from the top leadership, including Rahul Gandhi, the statement that have come from Digvijay Singh? Sir?
The surrounding circumstances indicate only that. Rahul Gandhi questions their sacrifice in Galwan, in the fight with China, skirmishes, and now Digvijay Singh, and a tokenism of party distance, and then with Digvijay Singh repeating, and even abusing journalists, very unfair, condemnable. This is the democratic credentials of Congress party. They keep on asking questions from us that we are compromising in a democratic tradition, and what are they doing? Because they have no answers. The Insult India Brigade has become dominant in the Congress scheme of things.
Now, the BJP, of course, has been very critical of the manner in which the Congress party has responded to Digvijay Singh's comments. Times Now's Pradeep Datta confronted Rahul Gandhi on what Mr. Digvijay Singh said. But before that, the BJP, of course, has also lashed out, saying that the purpose of the Bharat Jodo Yatra is being completely undermined by comments of this nature.
सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात करते हैं कि हमने इतने लोग मार गिराए, लेकिन प्रमाण कुछ नहीं, केवल झूठ का पुलिंदा से ये राज कर रहे हैं। मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं, ये देश सबका है।
पुलवामा में हम लोगों के 40 सीआरपीएफ के जवानों ने जान, आज तक ये बात खुलासा नहीं कर पाई भारत की सरकार कि आखिर ये 3 कुंटल आरडीएक्स आया कहां से। इसके साथ साथ आज तक ये जवाब नहीं दे पाई है कि देवेंद्र सिंह डिप्टी एसपी, जो कि आतंकवादियों से पकड़ा गया, वो आज कहां है, उसको क्यों छोड़ दिया गया, राष्ट्रद्रोह का प्रकरण उस पर क्यों नहीं बना। इसी के साथ साथ हम तो पूछना चाहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से, उनके और पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री जी के क्या संबंध है, कैसे संबंध है, एक दूसरे की प्रशंसा हो रही है। आखिर इन सब बातों का जवाब तो उन्हें देना चाहिए।
Now, Times Now's Pradeep Datta has been tracking the Bharat Jodo Yatra and its entry in Jammu and Kashmir, and he directly confronted Rahul Gandhi as well during a press conference over the party's inaction against a repeat offender like Digvijay Singh. This is the confrontational sequence, and let's also listen in to how Rahul Gandhi responded.
So, adding on to the same question, जो सवाल पहले पूछे गए हैं उसको बार-बार दोहराने की जरूरत नहीं है। I don't be repeating, I'm just adding. Because every time Digvijay Singh has become a kind of a habitual offender, he keeps on giving statements. He has said the same thing about the 26/11, that time it was the Congress government. And now he has given the same statement asking for sabut in this particular case also. And every time Congress tries to distance itself from Digvijay Singh's statement, and today also you said that you don't agree with that, I agree with that. But why action is not initiated?
We are a democratic party, okay? And we are not a dictatorship. We don't run our party with principles of coercion. We don't appreciate Mr. Digvijay's personal views, but the views of the party are above Mr. Digvijay Singh's views. The views of the party are generated from a conversation within the party. I would like to assure you that Mr. Digvijay Singh's views are outlying views. They are not views that are held by the by the center of the party. We are absolutely crystal clear that the armed forces do a job, they do a job exceptionally well, and they do not need to be providing proof for anything. Okay?
आज तक से सुनील भट्ट,
it is in the culture of our party, right, to allow conversations. And sometimes when those conversations happen, people who have extreme views air their views, right? So we try to manage a conversation. You see, there's no, in the BJP, in the RSS, there's no conversation. They just decide that this is what it's going to be, and nobody can talk after that, right? It's like demonetization. The Prime Minister gets up one morning and says, you know, we're going to demonetize. or like GST, where you completely destroy the backbone of the country because you're not having a conversation. So we think a conversation is very, very important. And sometimes, of course, there are people in every conversation who will say ridiculous things. And in this case, I'm sorry to have to say this about a senior leader. He said a ridiculous thing.
So Rahul Gandhi there only going so far as to claim that the comment made by Digvijay Singh questioning the valor of our armed forces, demanding proof of what happened during the surgical strikes is ridiculous, but not in fact an outright condemnation by the senior echelons of the Congress party. So therefore, stopping short of an outright condemnation, claiming that the party has a democratic tradition where there is debate over every issue internally. Now let's also remind you of how top army commanders had on record authenticated the surgical strikes that took place in the aftermath of the Uri attacks in 2016. The surgical strikes happened on the 29th of September 2016, yet even their words did not convince doubters like Digvijay Singh.
The aim of the strike was twofold. One was to send a clear message to Pakistan Army that you keep supporting this terror activities and don't think that the Indian Army will not come and embarrass you to a huge extent and expose you for what you are. And the second message was for the terrorists, that just because you are sitting behind Pakistan Army posts, don't think that you will be safe here and that nobody can hit you, and that we will only be reactive. You come across on our side, hit our camps, carry out infiltration, and that we will not be able to do anything. That primarily was the message that we wanted to send out. Now, I know it is often said, but Pakistan hasn't stopped activities like this. It was not in our minds that this one strike and suddenly Pakistan is going to mend its ways. The killing of Osama bin Laden didn't wipe out Al-Qaeda, but that doesn't mean the Americans shouldn't have done it. And that's the message that we wanted to send out. That there will be a price to pay every time something like this happens. The whole operation was over one night, although we had in some places inserted surveillance groups a day earlier so that they could keep an eye on the target. The whole operation, as I said, was over one night, but again between the first and the last, the first strike went in around midnight and the last went in, I would say, around 6:30.